because this is about the Citizens Clean Water Declaration. We, the citizens of Florida, the citizens of America, it is our right to have clean water, fishable, drinkable, swimmable water. And our state government, in its last legislative session, reduced our nutrient protections and took away our ability to control and to prosecute pollution on almost all of our waterways south of Lake Okeechobee. Our state government, our governor, has refused to do anything except pander to corporate polluters, and he's allowed their lobbies to rewrite our ordinances to make pollution legal. So we have water issues all across the state of Florida right now. Nutrients are making their way into our aquifer. They're coming out in our springs. We're giving away our water to commercial interests, and our springs are being reduced. We're being sold out wholesale across the entire state. And so what we did was first, and know this, that we here started this movement. When we had 7,000 people show up at the locks because Scripps Howard carried it in their newspaper, and Evan and Clint got together on their Facebook page and showed me all about the power of social media, we got everyone's attention. Now, our state legislatures and our governor had just sold us out, and within weeks, they're pandering to us, having Senate Select Committee meetings and everything else. The only problem with that is that everybody sitting there had just voted against us to take our protections away, to sell us out. So, because that happened, we had the ability to do some other things. Justin Riney called me up on the phone. He says, Marty, I would like to do some sort of a meeting in the middle of the state, in Clewiston. I said, you, sir, are out of your mind. I said, do you realize that sugar owns everything, including the sheriff's department? That we're talking Mississippi burning? Oh, no, it will be okay. And you know, it was. The citizens were a little hostile to us, but you have to expect that given the disinformation that they're being fed. Mayor Rowland was a gentleman, and he took care of us. I was rather impressed with his demeanor and how much he knew about our issues and what was going on. So from there, we got invited to Washington by Congressman Patrick Murphy. We did car washes, we had bake sales, the citizens stepped up. I couldn't afford to go, somebody paid my way. We filled a bus. And 36 out of 48 hours on the bus is not fun, but we made some really good friendships. We really did on the way. They got tired of hearing Marty talk about the damn water. They really did, but they came away with a lot more knowledge than they got there.
Never, Marty, never.
So we get back from there, and now we have a meeting, a rally in Fort Myers Beach. And we showed up with over 100 people, and to my great sadness, the community itself was hostile towards us. It seems to me that they don't care that there's discharges in the summertime as long as it cleans up by the time their winter visitors and their big money shows up. And I find that unacceptable. They were scared of me. They thought that we were going to cause them to lose business, when in reality, these families from Germany that spend all year collecting their money and planning, they come here and nobody told them they couldn't get in the water, and now they won't be back. So they hurt themselves. They too are having a rally. Ray Judah and a couple others are putting one together at Fort Myers Beach. There's going to be 18 or 19 rallies just like this one today. So we're here about that. When Justin Riney called, one of the first things I said is, there's a lady that you need to bring in and board this, and that was Christy Costello. She runs Sierra out of Tampa, and she came over, and we all sat down and we started talking. And one of the first things I said to her is, we have some momentum here. We need to get together as a state. Senator Bob Graham, at the 2012 Everglades Coalition, he gave us a homework assignment. He said everybody from the Everglades needs to meet all the people from northern Florida and learn each other's issues so you can become a singular voice. Well, you know what? That happened. For the first time in Florida's history, 118 different advocacy groups got together and we promulgated a document. And there was a lot of fighting over wordage and comments and this and that, but we finally got it done. And let me read part of this to you. The Floridians' Clean Water Declaration. The people of Florida have the inalienable right to clean drinking water, whether the water is drawn from public sources or public wells. Safe lakes, streams, springs, rivers, canals, and coastal waters for swimming and fishing. Protection from water pollution and its effects. Know the sources of pollution that threaten Florida's waters. Protection from water privatization and its effects. Abundant water for drinking, fishing, and recreation. The people of Florida, the state government, and the industries that benefit from Florida's natural resources have the responsibility to stop pollution at its source rather than allow it to enter our waters. Protect Florida waters as well as the people who depend on them from overconsumption and privatization. Protect the natural environment, which is critical to the health of Florida's people, wildlife, and economy, and provide clean water for future generations. What they have done is they have written checks on our children and our grandchildren that they are going to be unable to pay because we're going to be past the tipping point all across the state. We need to restore our protections and make them better. And the only way that's going to happen is through the ballot box. So, here we are today. Many of you who had not signed have now signed the Clean Water Declaration. And you know, what this is really about is our elected officials. Above the county and municipal level, the state and the federal government were not being represented. They're pandering to corporate polluters and corporate profits. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask all our elected officials to sign this, and then we're going to hit them right between the eyes with the citizens, or with the Polluters Must Pay Amendment that was passed in 1996. If there is a litmus test for this next election, it should be, if we put you in the governor's seat, if we put you in the legislature, if we put you in the Florida Senate, will you demand that this amendment that we voted on overwhelmingly gets enforced for the first time? It's never been enforced. Essentially, Amendment 5 says that if you pollute, just like the Clean Water Act says, it has to stay where it's at until it's clean before you can pass it on to others. And if you don't, then you pick up the entire tab. Right now, the Everglades agricultural area, they're paying $25 an acre, and that absolves them for all issues and payments on their pollution. And I assure you, it is a lot more. There's a study about to be released next month that is going to make everybody very angry about how bad we are being taken advantage of. So, before I get yapping on here and everything else.
Yes.
Before. Thanks.
Marty for president.
No, I'm not a politician. We have today with us. We have today with us the mayor of Stuart, Troy McDonald.
Yes.
I must tell you that Troy, like Beulah Clark and like Sarah Hurd, they've been everywhere. Every time we have one of these events, they show up and they support us. And you know, they're not just giving lip service to us, they're trying their best to make a difference, which is what we're all about. So I'd like to turn over the microphone to Mr. Mayor and let him have a few words.
Thank you very much, Marty. Thank you. You know, I was just thinking as I was listening to Marty, and we should not have to endure another lost summer. I mean, does anybody want to do that again? No. So, and we're not going to allow it to happen again. And how are we going to do that? We're going to stay organized, and we're going to continue the fight. We're going to continue the fight to our local governments, our state government, and up to Washington, because that's the only way this is going to change, is if the politicians at the state and federal level get the idea that they cannot keep destroying our rivers, our estuaries, our lagoons, our lakes. That has got to stop. And it's because of you guys, you folks here, and the hard work that you've done. That's why we're going to make a difference, and we're going to get these changes. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be fun, but we will endure, and we will get this. And that way, we can have clean rivers, clean estuaries, and clean lagoons for everybody to fish, boat, swim, and recreate in. So thank you. I'm so happy with all of the work that you all have put in. You guys, as the River Warriors, have done an amazing job, and keep up the fight, because it's not over yet.
Janine Mason, who has put together these fish and a lot of other things for us, gonna have a few words.
You know, I served on the Florida Arts Council in Tallahassee for a few years, and I met a man up there whose name is Rivers Buford. And Rivers said, if you're not willing to get involved in the decision-making process, then you have to be willing to live with the consequences of those who did get involved. And I'm just so proud to look around and realize, look at everybody here. We didn't even know each other a few months ago. But something happened in our community that was unacceptable, and we all came together. I mean, if this is not one great, caring community, then I don't know of one in Florida. And look at how it's spread from here in this ripple effect. I mean, thank you, Keri, and thank you, Marty, and Clint. Good Lord, none of this would have happened had it not been for Facebook and everybody being willing to say, you know, like, all right, so I'll get involved. I write and illustrate children's books for a living, which is to say I'm very patient because I believe in the goodness of things that can come, that can happen, that can change. And so when we've done things with the kids using these fish, like we had a fish painting event at the library during the month of October, we painted over 1,000 fish that were supposed to hang in Tallahassee during this legislative session, and here's the news. It's now considered a protest. What? They won't allow us to hang them there. But it's okay, something else wonderful will come of this still. Nonetheless, it's so interesting because of all the people that came out and brought their kids, and all those kids who turned into river advocates on that day. It's continuing to grow. So we're thinking we're going to do that same thing again at Arts Fest in the park in March, but we're going to need some help. We're going to need some help, so stay tuned for that, okay? Because we're going to need to do a little bit of fundraising to make that happen. But nonetheless, I just want to say thank you, everyone. What's been happening is absolutely unacceptable. It's been going on for a long, long time, and we're the change. It was happening on our watch, and we weren't willing to let that happen. So we did get involved. Thank you. Thank you.
Representative of the board of the Rivers Coalition, but just as a citizen, I want to thank you all for not being here today only, but for being at everything we've done. And I tear up every time I say this, but I swear, as a member of this community, I'm so proud of how well we all came together to fight this problem. And I mean, I know there's a really long way to go, and we've got a lot more work to do. But we have really got off to a great start, and you know it's because of all of you and all the work you've done, and I really appreciate it. I just got a text message from our congressman who he couldn't be here because he had a speech to give in Port St. Lucie, but he said he's here with us in spirit, and save him one of those petitions because he's going to sign it as soon as he can. So we need more people like that. I mean, we need to only elect people that are going to help our waterways from here on out. I don't care what else they do. I don't care what side you're on, left, right, in between, middle, whatever your policies are. I don't care anymore. As long as you're going to help our river, I'm voting for you. And I think if we all did that, we'd be done with this fight in a matter of years. So thank you all for coming. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy this beautiful weather. And we'll see you later.